Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Outpost for another video. Today I'm going into what I liked and didn't like about part 1 of the new Star Wars novel, Light of the Jedi. So let's get into it. This novel is set several hundred years before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, in what is called the High Republic. In part 1 of the novel, we heard mention of Master Yoda, but nothing more than a mention or two. Other than that, there were totally new characters. This part of the novel focused around a galactic catastrophe that happens when a cargo ship carrying passengers and volatile cargo collided with an object while traveling in hyperspace. You could tell part 1 was building up to something, but it was interesting the way they did it. For the first several chapters, they kept introducing new characters and then killing them off in the same chapter. This honestly made me lose interest in reading this part of the novel because, I don't know, at least for me, when I'm reading a novel, I immediately start to invest myself in characters that I meet, and to have them killed off basically right when I first meet them made me feel like I was wasting my time. I'd get to know them a little bit and start looking forward to knowing them more, but then they die immediately and it was like, I don't know, what was the point of reading about them, you know? The argument to that might be that this catastrophe was made more catastrophic, but not really, because you don't have time to develop any real feelings about that character to begin with. So yeah, I'm not sure how I felt about that. We were quickly introduced to Jedi, and I did like the Jedi characters that were in part 1. One in particular, Master Avar Kriss, had an interesting Force ability that, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't really seen before, at least not exactly like this. This was a Force chain connection. It was almost like battle meditation in the way that it was incredibly taxing and required complete focus. She felt every tremor in the Force and was able to reflect those tremors back to all the Jedi. She could reach into the Force and connect everyone together, no matter how far away they were. So if there was something happening over there, all of the Jedi over here would sense exactly what was happening because Master Kriss was this beacon of a network, and he was able to communicate or reflect that event back to everyone. This also meant that she could sense these gaps in the network, so when something was missing, she knew there was potential danger coming because she wasn't able to detect something and she felt this sense of lacking in her. I thought this was a really interesting and unique ability. Of course, Jedi and Sith alike could sense tremors in the Force, but they weren't necessarily all connected in the way Master Avar Kriss connected all the Jedi in the High Republic once she began meditating and really trying to hone in her focus on the Force. One thing that I wasn't really sure about when it did come to the Jedi was how they compared the Force to the physical realm. For example, in a dire moment, one Jedi compared the Force to a bottomless sea that he could go deeper and deeper into. For me, I found it helpful in the way that it might be helpful to have a pregnant mother try and explain a pregnancy pain to me that I've never felt before, even if it's poorly explained. Because I think for us, the Force is something we can never completely understand. And having it compared to something that we can understand completely in the real world will help us understand the Force more, for sure. But again, going back, if this mother begins feeling this intense pain that just consumes her, you can bet that she's not going to be thinking even for a second about some juvenile comparison she made to try and help us begin to understand what she had been feeling. In a way, this one Jedi was in a similar situation. He was in the middle of a looming disaster and everything depended on the Jedi at this time. I can't imagine a Jedi Master in such a serious moment like this would be imagining a comparison designed to probably help a non-Force sensitive begin to understand the Force better. In this situation, they'd be focusing on other Jedi around them using the Force network that Master Kriss had made for all of them. They'd be focusing on working together and not losing themselves to the Force. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments, but yeah, I was really not sure how I felt about that. I will say that the first part of the novel closed out with a bang, and I'm so excited to get deeper into part 2 because, as I'm sure we all predicted, this doesn't appear to be just a hyperspace accident, and they're really drawing in at least some inspiration from Legends and the expanded universe. I really want to see where they're going with this and if they're making one of the most loved Legends characters canon in this novel. I'm late to the party because, like I said, the first part of the novel just was not interesting to me, and I didn't feel like reading it when I kept losing all these new characters. I had to force myself to complete this first part, so maybe you guys already know what I'm talking about, but don't spoil it. I will finish soon and let you know what I thought about part 2. For now, this is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Did you buy the novel? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.